Hi, my name is Sam Johnson and I am a voice teacher. Today I will be reacting to and analyzing Little Mix performing Black Magic live at the BRIT Awards in 2016. Does anyone else think this is a little bit scary? Like, come on guys, what are we watching this for? To be scared? Because it's working.
Is your lover playing on your side? Said he loves you, but he ain't got time.
Good. Her voice is really dark. Like, not in a way like, oh, it sounds really swallowed or anything, but then it doesn't sound like quite bright. In pop music, you know, I don't think there is just one defined tone color that works, right? And especially when you get groups of singers singing together, having some variety between their tone colors actually, like when they're singing together, it blends in a really interesting way. I just think there's a lot of value in non-homogeneity. And gosh, I'm so distracted by that lady's face. I feel like her name is Jessie. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but she goes like this, which is a face that I like to make when I'm wrestling with my dog and going, which is actually kind of the easiest way that I've ever found to make that kind of growly sound, is kind of by making that face. So anyway, so that kind of darkness happens by, oftentimes the ways that we can control it are by lowering our larynx a little bit, raising our soft palate, which are things that are pretty helpful for singing well often. But the thing that people run into that is not really wonderful when they start trying to raise their soft palate or lower their larynx is that the root of their tongue will retract a lot. So you just want to make sure that like the back of the tongue is not, but like closer to, If you look at my tongue, you can see it. So that's something that you can actually practice in a mirror and see, can I see the body of my tongue as I'm singing this? And between both of them, like the space between my larynx and the soft palate are pretty similar, but like one of them sounds really hooty and the other sounds a little bit more balanced. And that's kind of what we're looking for in all kinds of music. And then if I find that if we can find that nice balance, whatever feels good for a person, that there's a variety of like brightnesses and darknesses or just tonal qualities that they're able to do in a way that feels really healthy. But generally, you find whatever's the most healthy, whatever feels the best so you can repeat it a lot. And then you just like get people saying, you sound awesome when you sing this. You sound really good when you're doing this. And then you do those things more. And when that happens and you're making sounds that feel really good, then you'll find a lot of success. And for some people, you know, that might be just the perfect voice of maybe one Beyonce Knowles or something, where, you know, there is that kind of even amount of brightness and darkness, and to me it just sounds really comprehensive. But again, that is a Sam subjective opinion because I just like that quality of voice. Some people might listen to the singer we were just listening to, hear that kind of darkness and be like, wow, that is the brightest voice I've ever wanted, because everything is subjective with how we're listening to this, and I think it's unfair to pretend that it's not. Anyway, I like the kind of darkness in her voice. I do think that a lot of people tend to get just a little bright with pop music.
Here's the answer. Come and get it and enact it. Full of honey, just to make him sweet. Crystal balling, just to help him see what he's been missing.
So her voice has a lot more of that bright kind of cutting through. If we're looking at the physics of it, there's a lot more high frequency activity in the tone, because tone isn't just like one frequency, C4, 250 hertz. There's a lot of different frequencies present, and how varied their strengths are gives us different qualities. So with her, there are a lot more of those high frequencies kind of coming out, and it gives that quality. But she's also not going all the way into SpongeBob mode. She's got something that is, you know, a little bit of a balanced sound.
So come and get it while you still got time. Hey! Get your boy on his knees, repeat after me, say
Yeah, that's a bummer. You have that one line and you come in barely off. I'm not sure if she could hear herself very well, but yeah, if we were watching back with this, if these were my students and we were just reviewing a performance, seeing what we could do, differently to make it more likely to be whatever our definition of success is after, I'd be like, could you hear yourself? Was your monitoring off? No? Okay, cool. Then let's fix that because, I like to assume that people know they're going to be on pitch and they know how to get on pitch and that there are other problems going on. And maybe some of it is just the fact that scapegoats can be really helpful, in my opinion. You can do a lot of really good things with your voice and be singing really well and consistently and then wake up one day and like everything is not working very well. And that's where I think that maybe thinking, hey, Mercury's in retrograde. I can't sing today. It's just not working. Not as a like, wow, I guess I can't go do it, but more as just like, things are hard. There are bigger forces that affect us that are out of our control. And if we just freak out every time that like the result of our singing is not exactly what we want it to be, we're going to be unhappy all the time. So I'm going to assume that that singer knows how to get on and that her earpiece was wrong. Next step. No, I don't know how to get onto that pitch. Then we're going to work on finding whatever reference pitch we can that's in the music surrounding her so that she can just find something better to listen to so that she knows what she's doing. If she's able to do that, but she's still not coming out, then we'll just work on like some basic pitch matching things, maybe tie it to a sensation that's like more present every time that she goes on that word in that phrase, in this key, all of that kind of stuff. But, I think she's been through some of that stuff, and sometimes people are just a little off key even with all those other things, and it's like, I don't think that we should care that much about like one line of a song being just a little bit off.
Change him overnight is the answer. Come and get it, why still got time?
She sounds like she's dancing and singing. Like it's a little bit quavery and stuff in some of those ways. Her vocal tone has a lot of air coming through. I find that people who have a lot more flow than press, if you're thinking like no air coming through, all vocal folds are together, that is 100% pressed, and that's like holding your breath. No air comes out. If it's all air, and so I think that one of the biggest things that we need to do as singers is find like what's our 50-50 place where it feels not pressed, it doesn't feel like too airy, just 50-50. And I think that she's a little bit more on the side of airiness. People who tend toward that, they need better support like more frequently, right? Like it's harder to keep a really even sound in my experience. And then you throw in the cardio and the like we're losing our breath, we're doing this in front of a big crowd. I don't care how famous you are, like you'll probably still get some nice butterflies sometimes, and that energy is actually just transmuted into a good performance. But sometimes it also results in our breathing getting a little bit off. Sometimes it results in being just a little bit shakier than we might be on another day. But if I wanted to increase the chance of her not having it be breathy like that, I would see, is it the breathiness that we're after, or is it the more gentle kind of quality that we're getting with that breathiness? But if we are willing to just sacrifice a little bit of that breathiness and get your vocal folds together a little bit more, it will probably make it a little easier to be on pitch in a stable way. And then we could just work on maybe adding a little bit of that darkness or something, which will almost sound kind of breathy, but yeah. It's hard to sing breathy. It's hard to sing breathy and consistently. Like it works really well in the studio, but if you're doing that while you're moving a lot, it's just hard.
Buenos Aires, repeat after me, say.
So like she got there, she got there. Like by the end of that was a little bit more on key, but like yeah, she just I don't know. I need to know like what's going on in her head to give any sort of feedback that's like not completely speculative, obviously. But I don't know. Let's pretend it is a vocal technique thing and she doesn't know how to sing that line, which I think is like provably false. She maybe her larynx is a little high. Things feel like they're just reaching up a little bit. And so if we can work on just relaxing everything down, maybe let the jaw hang down and back instead of like this kind of motion, little things like that I would start working on just to guarantee that she can hear what her voice sounds like being on that pitch. But yeah, like, I don't know. I still think that it's likely an earpiece thing. Like, just because I don't know. It was pretty off. I mean, the chorus is all just... I don't know if we hear any of their live vocals in the chorus. I would bet that we're not hearing any of their live vocals in the chorus. It sounds perfect and studio and good, but like, there's also a tonal shift when you get to any of their live takes, and I think it's cool that they're doing some of those live takes, and I do think in a big show like this that's on the television sets and everything, it's good to guarantee that I think that it's a nice fail-safe to have tracks, sometimes some track support, especially if maybe in rehearsals, it's like, ladies, we're a little off. Can we get it on? And like, we just can't, for whatever reason, 4-part harmonies while you're dancing around on like this big stage with all of these other elements of chaos interacting with you. We can't get like the most tight harmonies that we're able to get in a practice room when we're all in really good health. Like, I think it's fair to expect that, you know, people are going to use tracks sometimes. And I don't have problems with that because I like full performances. Do I like live music? Yes. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't it be incredible for me to have gotten this far in my life and in my pursuit of becoming a better singer and helping other people become a better singer, to just be like, I don't think people should ever sing live and that there should never be an expectation of like nice singing. But I think that we can contain multitudes, and some of those multitudes can appreciate a mixed media performance versus a fully acoustic human-made phenomenon. Live. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, all of what I just said, I believe. I believe that I have told no lies about my perspectives of the world. Would I want to go to a concert that is going to be primarily that? Probably not. But I also don't listen to that just like all the time. I've been to some really, really big pop shows. I went and saw Miss Taylor Swift at the Eras Tour, and I thought she sounded awesome, and I didn't really hear much vocal track use. To my ear. They could be so brilliant at this that this is just like easier for me to hear, and so it stands out a little bit more. And for me, yeah, I like seeing Taylor Swift perform live with all of the sounds that she's making, because there are not very many like really tight harmonies, like 4-part vocal harmonies in her work, that I think that we need to supplement with tracks. And there's just such a focus on the lyric in her music that like I want that lyric to be very connected to a person in the moment there. With a bigger pop bop anthem like this, I feel less need of that. I'd be very happy if it was at the BRIT Awards 2016, you know, if I was attending that and they sang it like this. If I went to their own concert, if they were dancing like this, that's the main qualifier. And so then I guess you have to decide, like, is it worth it to have really, really tight dancing, or really, really tight singing, because you will have to make some sort of compromise. And I know we can look at like all of Broadway as an example of people who are able to sing really well and dance really well. And that's true, like they are able to, but not with the kind of breathiness, with this much movement. And I'm sorry, but like they're probably better trained singers in general, showing some of my bias. But I listened to these ladies sing just now, and like they're very good singers, but I don't think that they probably are familiar with the kind of versatility that even like your basic Broadway dancer chorus boy like has, of just versatility jumping between a bunch of different genres, because in order to get to the level that you might be competitive for some of those roles, you have to be incredibly versatile and a really good, strong dancer. And they are very good, but they're just more niche, right? And so it's just changing those expectations of what you're looking for. Beyonce can do it all. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. If you want me to react to one of your faves, then comment twice. And on the second comment, be like, Sam, please, I really, really need it. I've waited so long to ask you for this one, and now I'm asking. If you use those words, you will like probably get me to react to it more.